Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, and when we reach that, I'll be doing another giveaway. The link to the giveaway video will be in the description. Today, it's going to be a little different. I'm going to try something different. I've got a sports room, and I want to take you into my world and show you what I collect, how I store it, and basically what I'm into, give you a little insight about what I collect and who I collect, and just give you a room tour of my sports room. So with that being said, like, comment, and subscribe. We're on the road to 500, and then we'll do another giveaway. Hope you enjoy. All right, guys. We're starting out. I'm going to show you the bedroom door and the closet area. We got the Reds driving. That right there is Rudy Johnson. He's the one that passed away this week, unalived himself. CTE, they're suspecting. I did get to meet him, great guy, back in 2005. And I was in a wedding and ended up getting a chalk drawing of him. And then this was when Great American Ballpark was first built, the first season it was open. I'm trying to get, I can't remember if that was 2003, 4 maybe. I'm not real sure, don't hold me to that. But then this is the closet where I store a lot of stuff, and I've got the Bengals drive over that, Red's place over the door into the bedroom. And then moving over, we got my favorite player of all time from University of Michigan, go Wolverines, Charles Woodson. Went up against Peyton Manning, Randy Moss, and was the first mostly defensive player to ever win the Heisman Trophy award. And he's really what drew me into Michigan football. Before that, I was Michigan basketball 100% because of the Fab Five. Here we got Cincinnati Bearcats great, Oscar Robertson, also from Indianapolis, and played in Cincinnati, two of the cities I grew up in and around. And then we have Crosley Field, The Last Pitch, and that was June 24th, 1970, I believe, yeah. And I picked that up in the Hall of Fame Museum, just to, Crosley Field being well-known in Cincinnati and well-liked, history behind it. And then we move on to my Reds bobbleheads, which this is only about half of my collection. I got to buy some more shelves to put the rest of them on, and I will show you the rest of them here in a minute. That ball, Billy Hamilton, center fielder for the Cincinnati Reds, threw that to my daughter when we were sitting out first row in the outfield. And we got a couple signatures on there. And then I want to say it was the David Price, Luis Castillo, and one other, but I'm not real sure. Then we're moving on to more of the bobbleheads. The larger bobbleheads you see are the Pick Six. They're called oversized bobbleheads. If you buy the Pick Six package, you are getting the exclusive oversized bobblehead each year. It was started out Joey Votto, Nick Senzel right there, as you can see on the end. And then this past year was Ellie De La Cruz. And I think there's a fourth one, but it wasn't. Oh yeah, Hunter Green was 2 years ago. It just wasn't that big, so you probably didn't even notice the difference in size. But here I got a panoramic shot of downtown Cincinnati. Shows both the stadiums, the Reds and the Bengals, and then it had across the river into Covington, Kentucky. But I think that's an amazing sight. And here we have my closet. This is where I store all of my cards. These boxes here are normally what's all top-loaded, or it's base, rookies. Base gets no sleeve, rookie gets sleeve. all inserts, parallels, numbered, all those get top loaded. And if they're good enough, they go into a one-touch, which the one-touch boxes are not in here. Those are in my closet in the bedroom. I keep my jerseys in there for a little bit of the sports theme, and then I got some hoodies and sweatshirts and things like that. And then I have my some top loaders, one touch, different things right there. And then up here I have, like I said, more of my bobbleheads, a couple more Funko Pops, my Under Armour Joe Burrow Peach Mango, I think it was. And then my Reds and Bengals cups from Skyline Chili that I collect. Skyline Chili, I have to go there all the time because they always give away or sell, sports memorabilia and different things, bobbleheads, cups. So yeah, I spent a lot of time there getting that. One more look through the bobbleheads that are actually out. Soon I will get the rest of the bobbleheads out and on shelves whenever I get those through the mail. Here we got my Michael Jordan Funko Pop set. And I believe I have 24, 3 being 10-inch, and then 20 being the 4-inch. And then I have one die cast that I was trying to get the rare item, which I got the die cast, and it's a nice Funko, but it's not the rare one. So altogether, 24 of those. That's the die cast right there. And then we have the triple play from the Space Jam movie, baseball, basketball, golf, Wheaties box. That's the USA Olympic 10-inch. And there's the mini Michael Jordan basketball, which I had as a kid. Went on eBay, bought it again. And that right there is a lunchbox, still in the sealed case. It's got tribute to Michael Jordan, Upper Deck. I'm not sure how many cards are in there, but I've never opened that. Don't plan on it. And then there's my third and final 10-inch Michael Jordan Funko. And like I said, that's the USA. That's the white jersey. And then the red jersey. And then finishing off just the rest of it. There's the gold Michael Jordan Funko. And then that one right there is an uncirculated, graded. That's a jersey number 12. If you didn't know, he got his jersey stolen in Orlando. And he had to wear number 12 jersey for one game only. So that's in reference to that. And then we got two Santa Claus 2023 and 24 Funko of the Cincinnati Bengals. And there's Mr. Redlegs, one in a red jersey, one in a white jersey. The white jersey is more rare and hard to find and in good condition. So I had to pay up on that one a little bit. And then we're on to my Cincinnati Reds Funko collection. I do own all of them. These are the only ones that Mr. Redlegs, and then these 5, which is Suarez, Davis, Votto, Bench, and my newly collected De La Cruz. In the back, we got the Dream Team calendar from 1992, along with the still unopened starting lineup of the 1992 USA Basketball Dream Team. That will stay sealed. Don't plan on opening it. And then down here we have my Wolverines mini helmet and a mini football. Go Blue. Yeah. And then we have starting lineup still sealed is Oscar Robertson. And I'm not sure if that was the Bucks or the Cincinnati Royals. I can't remember. Then you got the Cincinnati Bearcats head coach of basketball team, Bob Huggins, was never the same after he left. Their basketball team just kind of went downhill from there, which the late 90s, early 2000s, it was great to watch the Bearcats. We had parties every game. Now we're looking at the ESPN magazines of Kobe Bryant and what is it? ESPN Best Ever of Michael Jordan. I remember the day they gave us that news. Kind of unreal. Hard to believe. There's a Cincinnati Reds mini helmet. And there's the Cincinnati Reds Mr. Potato Head and the great Ken Griffey Jr. And I think that he should have had the bat all the way through the follow-through of his swing, like the swingman. I would have rather seen that, but all in all, still a cool little piece of figurine from Ken Griffey Jr. Now we got the Cincinnati Bengals, Mr. Potato Head, and then we have other than the two Santa Claus, these are all the Bengals Funko Pops that you can get. And we got two Joe Burrow, one in orange, one in white. And then we got the duo, Burrow and Chase. And then we have a Chad Johnson, Jamar Chase in the black jersey. And then we have AJ Green wearing a ball cap. Not sure why. Should have had a helmet. These are Dragon, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow. And then this is Carson Palmer and Chad Johnson. The older ones are way more detailed, heavier, just a lot better quality than the new ones like this. They're just light, cheap plastic, and they cost more. And then we got the Bengals mini helmet too. So yeah, I wish they would go back to the old style and make them better. That's just me though. That's one of my daughter's dance competition plaques, which you're going to see in a second. She has lots of dance competition trophies, plaques, and medals. And then you'll also see that she has some softball trophies as well. These have to go on the entertainment stand because they are way too tall to put up there on the shelves. But that's two of her platinum first place trophies from dance competitions. And this is my wall clock, and every shoe represents a number on the clock. I'm missing a couple of magnets, so I got to get some magnets and hang that back up. This is called Wall Kicks. It's kind of like a fathead. You can slap it on a wall and it comes back off, and you can put it on a different place on the wall if you wanted to move it. It's not stuck there forever. But those are two of my favorite Jordans. That's why I got that exact sticker for the wall. And then here is my daughter's shelf with all of her dance competition medals, plaques, and trophies, along with softball trophies. She was a beast in softball, hitting home run after home run. She's got 5 softball trophies and 11 dance trophies, and I think like 20 medals from dance. That was her thing. Dance was the most. I got her into softball. She did play quite a bit. Her last year, high school, she didn't play. Ready to move on from it, but it's all right. Here we got, I don't know if you guys remember the Bo Jackson versus Michael Jordan comics. I've got 2 of those, and I'm going to have to do some research to see if they have any more of those, or if those are the only 2 out there. I kind of forgot I had them, actually. But then I got 2 Jordan comics, and these are all sealed up, by the way, except for this last one. Not sure why I don't have it sealed, but that's probably my favorite as far as covers go. And I don't remember what years that these started coming out. I'd have to do some research on that, but not 100% sure. That one is advertisement for Hank Aaron and one of his comics. But I got 2 Jordan and then 2 Bo versus Michael. And then here we have if you're old enough like me, you can remember the Wheaties boxes that came with posters on the outside. They had them saran wrapped in. When you opened it, you got your Wheaties poster. I think that's the only reason we bought the Wheaties box of cereals. But this was a set of 4. And when you open up each one of the posters, these are what is inside. These I have not displayed. I have opened them, but I do have that 4 set collection. And then these came in a set of 3. And I believe when you open those up, you get those 3 posters on the bottom are, when you open it once, you got a mini poster. And then when you open it all the way, it turns into 3-part long poster of Jordan. And then our last one, I can't remember if this, you had to send in a UPC or something to become part of the Flight Club, or if it came on the outside of the box. I cannot remember, but that's the 1991 Michael Jordan Flight Club calendar. 1991. I was 12. Been collecting for a long time. But yeah, you know, you get older and you look back and the nostalgia hits you, and you know, you want to kind of look back and enjoy what you did before. Here was a 1,000-piece puzzle my sister got me a couple Christmases ago, and I finally put it together, and then I got me a nice frame for it and hung it up on the wall. Here I went down to practice for the Bengals one day, and I got a total of 18 signatures. Ended up getting me a Bengals display case for it. And yeah, like I said, there's 18 signatures. No, it doesn't have Burrow, Chase, Higgins, or Mixon, but everybody else. These are new binders for my PC cards. They are color coordinated, so black would be my Jordan, orange is going to be my Bengals, blue is my Pacers, and reds are in the red. And these hold top-loaded cards. Every card in here is top-loaded, and it slides into that, and it holds 324 cards each, I believe. But also in the, it's not just reds I have in there. At the end, I have, you know, my favorites like Ken Griffey Jr., Darryl Strawberry, Bo Jackson, those guys. And then in the Pacers binder, of course, the first part of it is all my Pacers cards that I've collected. And then when you get toward the end, you got more all my Fab Five guys, you know, lots of Jalen Rose, lots of Chris Webber, my guy Allen Iverson, a lot of his cards. So it's not just the Pacers, it's a lot of Pacers, and then some of my favorite players in the NBA or from the NBA. And then in the Bengals binder, of course, it's got a majority of the Cincinnati Bengals. And then at the end, it's got also my Bo Jackson. Trying to think if... Oh, it's got Bo Jackson and Charles Woodson. Two of my other favorite players that aren't Bengals players. So yeah, Charles Woodson, Bo Jackson, and Cincinnati Bengals. And then in this last binder, you're going to see lots and lots of Jordan. And also, not all my cards have fit in these. I need to buy more because I still have probably over 500 Bengals cards, 500 Reds. All my Jordans are in here. I got a lot of them off the PSA right now getting graded. But yeah, that's basically what I store my PC in. And here is what I would say my most favorite part of the room, and that is all my Jordans. So these are all shoes that either I had back in the day and, you know, obviously ruined them, grew out of them, tore them up, played basketball, went swimming in them, whatever. But I had to go back and get the ones that I like. they started releasing the OGs with the Nike Air on the back and bottom instead of the Jumpman. So for the past 6 years, I have went back and started collecting all the shoes that I had when I was younger. Right there, the Nike Air Max 1 86 OG Big Bubble, the red and the blue. But yeah, I will take you through each shoe, let you get a good look of, what the shoe actually looks like. And some of them I know the name of them, and some of them I don't. So, and then, but I'll do my best to tell you exactly what they're called. I'm not going to know exactly what year they came out because, like I said, I just collected a lot in the last 6 years. Most of these shoes are from the past 6 years, and there are some that, I've had for 10 years or so, but give you a good look. And I do have them in order, like Jordan 1, Jordan 2, Jordan 3, 4, 5, 6. Starts out Jordan 1 up here, and then it goes all the way down to 13s, Jordan 13s. I got one pair of Jordan 14, but 13's pretty much where I stopped. These are the Jordan 1 OG, and that's the Lost and Found. It's made to look like it's vintage, like the leather on it's cracked, and like the shoe has been kept in a vault somewhere and forgotten about, or not in a vault, but in a closet, forgot about over the years. These are all patent leather bred ones. I would rather have just the regular bred, but you got to get what you can get. It's hard to get these shoes sometimes. But that was the bred one. And now we are on to the UNC one. Love the baby blue color. And these are another kind of North Carolina color, Jordan 1. I can't remember exactly what those are called, but so yeah, I got 4 pairs of the ones, and then we move on to, I don't have any of the Jordan 2s, not my forte. I don't really like the look of them. These are the reimagined OG white cement 3s. Probably one of my favorites. This is another one, black cement OG 3 with the Nike Air. A lot of these are going to have the Nike Air on the back because that's more of what I like rather than the Jumpman. But those first 2 are my favorites probably out of the 3s. And then we move on to the Fire Red 3, and that's also another OG. A fun fact, if you watch Little Monsters, Fred Savage is wearing the Fire Red 3s in that. These are the Washington Wizards, the Washington Wizard 3s. And these are the UNC North Carolina 3s. I actually could not get those for retail. Ended up having to pay about double the price for those. I can't remember what these are called. The Craft Ivory 3s. I don't know. Probably didn't need to purchase those. I'm not too fond of them, but And here we have the Nike Air Unlimited. The Fab Five wore these, and David Robinson also wore these, and he actually scored 81 points wearing these shoes. Not sure if you guys were familiar with that, but he did score 81 points, and he was wearing that shoe. And then we have the Reebok Answer from Allen Iverson. Obviously, I got 2 pair there. This one has been worn. The pair below it has not been worn. And there is tiny little bit of difference. The one below is actually the OG, the original to what he had. Now we move on to the Black Cat 3. I got 2 pairs of these, but these are the newest pair. I have not wore these yet. But I love the Black Cat shoes, the all black. Very nice. As you will see, these are the Black Cat 4s. So now we've moved on to the 4s, and that is the Black Cat version of the 4. That was very sought after. And then we have the OG Bred, or yeah, I call them Bred 4s. OG with the Nike Air on the back. And then these are the Bred Reimagined 4s. And they are made with more leather. The other one was a suede. So that's more leather all around, and it's a reimagined OG. Pretty much same thing except for different materials. Then we have the Fire Red OG 4. That was the very first shoe I got when I was in 3rd grade, was that Fire Red 3 or 4. And these are the white cement 4s. These I've been wanting for a long time, but I could not pay the $700 people were asking for, so I finally hit on them, paid $220. Glad I waited. These were a pack, the Thunder and Lightning, and I can't remember if this is just the Thunder and the Lightning is the reverse colors, all yellow and then black. But Thunder and Lightning, I need to get the Lightning to have the pack. These are the Rare Air 4s, and these just released not too long ago. That tongue is upside down for a reason. The other one on the other shoe is the right way, but that has a Velcro on it, and I'll show you here. And it has Jordan Rare Air underneath, and you can turn that tongue upside down, right side up, however you want to wear it. And then we have the Jordan 4 Motorsport, and that's the alternate colorway. It also has a white, mostly white shoe with the black and blue. And then we have, it's called What the 4s. So there is like 3 or 4 different shoes combined in one, and they just called it the What the. And I didn't really need them, but I bought them because, you know, that's what we do as collectors. But then we move on to the Military Blue OG. These were more popular, you know, back in like 2007 or 8. But here we have a Bred 5 low. I wore the crap out of these things, man. They were so comfortable, went with a lot of stuff. I wouldn't mind getting another pair, but now they're asking way too much for them. And these are the Fire Red 5s OG with the Nike Air. Anytime I say OG, it's usually because it's got the Nike Air and it's true to the 80s and 90s. And then these are the most recent pair I've picked up, and these are the Jordan 5, also OG Fire Red with the black tongue. These are a newer pickup, and these are the black cement 5s, or I'm sorry, black metallic 5s, and that's OG as well. Now, originally they didn't come with the white laces in them, but these did come with white laces, so I just kept them in there. And I got 2 pair of those, so I just didn't show you the second pair. And then we have a, what's that, the Raging Bull 5 or Toro 5, something like that. And then we have the Cherry 11s. And here we have the Bugs Bunny from Space Jam 7s. Pretty cool looking shoe. And then the next one is also a Jordan 7, but it is the 1992 Dream Team shoe with number 9 on the back, because that was his jersey number for the Dream Team. And I like hooping in those shoes as well. And then here we have either another Raging Bull or the Toro. These are the 6s. I'm not sure exactly which one was which. I can't remember. But I had the 5s, so I had to get the 6 as well. And we're staying with the Jordan 6, and we have the Bred 6 OG, the Nike Air. And some of these names I might get slightly wrong, but when you got so many shoes, it's hard to keep track of what's what. But here we have a North Carolina UNC PE 5. Looks like it's got the size tag on the back, just kind of like the Jordan 3. And then here we have the Jordan 11 Low Bred. If you haven't noticed, Bred is one of the black and red Bred. Those are my favorite colorways, that and the mostly white. And this is the Space Jam 11 Low. Sticking with the Jordan 11s, we now have the, what's this called? I'm not sure what that one's called, I forget. And this Jordan 11, I believe, is called the Loyalty or Royalty. I can't remember exactly. But that's my favorite of the 11s. And then coming out with the real flu game shoe, it's got the, if you can see right there in the middle of the tongue, it's got the yuck face. Some older people know what that means, but yeah, that was the original Bred that I got in back like 2007. In 1997, he scored 38 points. Come to find out, he didn't have the flu. I guess it was food poisoning, but they still call it flu game. This is also a flu Bred, but also flu game 12. This is the OG. This is the shoe that he would have wore in 97 against Utah Jazz. And now we're on to 12s, which the Bred was 12s. This is also a 12. This is the Taxi, or a version of the Taxi. A little different with the gold tint. This is the Playoff 12, basically just a reverse, black and white. And then we have the Cherry 12s. Love the 12s. The look of the 12s is really nice too, especially in the Bred and the white and red colorway. And this is the Cherry 13s. These are beat up. I wore these everywhere, doing whatever. But yeah, I definitely wore those out. Those are cooked. And then we have the Playoff 13s. And the bottom of those, if you didn't know, is supposed to be like the paw print of a panther. And this is the Royal Blue, I think, 13. And like I said, the 13s are the only ones I went to because I just didn't get into much after that. And this shoe I'm about to show you now is one of my favorites ever to play basketball in. And this is the Charles Barkley Nike Air Force Max. And the Fab Five also played in these. And I love hooping in these shoes, or I did before I had 3 shoulder surgeries. I don't even know if I can shoot a basketball anymore, which really sucks. But yeah, that's the shoe collection. I've showed you all the Funko Pops, bobbleheads, starting lineups, figurines, all my daughter's trophies. Just a fan of collecting, and I don't think I'll ever quit. It never gets old. There's always something else out there that I don't have that I would like to have. And, you know, we all work hard to have the things we want. So with that, I like to collect. That's my hobby. That's what I'm into. I'm not at bars. I'm not out causing trouble. I'm not doing anything. I like my cards. I like my collectibles. And that's what I like to do. So that's a little bit into my world anyway, what I collect, how I display it, and all that good stuff. But yeah, hopefully you like. I'm going to put a shelf there and a shelf down there. And then maybe somewhere else, because I need to get more shelves to put all these bobbleheads out. So I'll have double the amount of bobbleheads out for display once I get the shelves in. And it'll probably be the same kind of shelvings you see already. I got them from IKEA. IKEA has a lot of good stuff there. It's not too expensive, and it's a way to display all your stuff. Like those floating wall shelves right there, and then on the other side. It's great. IKEA is the place to go. But anyway, have a good day, night, whatever it is, wherever you're at. Take care. Untamed Sports. I'm out.